welcome back to Hike Oregon. Today I want to talk about sleeping pads, specifically some of the Therm-A-Rest brand sleeping pads. I have 3 different pads that I will be setting up, blowing up, and laying on for you today. And talking about their specs, that kind of thing, and just letting you know what is out there if you are new to gear, new to backpacking, and don't really know. I mean, I know I looked at the Therm-A-Rest website today, and man, there are a lot of choices. There are like over 50 different Therm-A-Rests, and it's like that can be really, really overwhelming. So if you don't know what open cell is, closed cell, R value, that kind of thing, don't worry, we're going to talk about that today. So you will get some knowledge on these different Therm-A-Rests, and that way you can go to REI or go to the Therm-A-Rest website and find something that you know will suit your needs for backpacking and camping. Anyway, let's get into the video. The first guy, they don't sell anymore. This is pretty old school model Therm-A-Rest Performance Series Camp Light. This is pretty awesome. Like I said, it is quite old, but it has lasted many, many, many years. I think this is from early 90s, I would say, mid 90s, maybe mid 90s, because it is pretty light. This thing is 1 pound 8 ounces. Yeah, so for, you know, for an old school Therm-A-Rest, that's this like heavy duty material, it's pretty light. As you can see, it has been patched here. That was just with some patching glue. It wasn't even like the Therm-A-Rest patch kit or anything like that. And it worked really, really well. So, as you can see, there is the pad. It is self-inflatable. So you just turn this knob here and it inflates by itself. Now the last little bit of air you do have to blow in, but it's only about 3 or 4 breaths before the whole thing is full. So it does inflate by itself pretty well. I did want to show you how long it is. This one is not very long, as you can see. So I am 5'5", so there's my head, so my feet do hang off the edge here. This would bother me. I don't think I could sleep like that. So this must be a small, yeah, this must be a small. Other than that, it's very comfortable to lay on. It's really wide, which is nice. But like I said, it is very short. So the only thing similar to that Therm-A-Rest Performance line that I could find in the current Therm-A-Rest store was the Trail Scout model, and that one is around $50, and it's 1 pound 6 ounces. So it's pretty comparable to the one I was just laying on. They do make regular and small size, and it has an R value of 3.4. So the R value is basically the thermal resistance of the foam. You're like 3.4, what the heck is that?
3.4, what the heck is that?
And so the 3.4 roughly means, I looked at a chart, and it's basically right around 16 degrees is when the Therm-A-Rest is gonna start to not work as well. So I would say 16 to 20 degrees or so, you're going to start feeling cold. If it gets any colder than that, you're going to be cold. Anything above 16 degrees, you're going to feel great and sleep comfortable. So the Neo Air XLITE is really small, compact, which is really great for backpacking. The small one weighs 8 ounces, the medium one is 12 ounces, and the large one is 1 pound. So I believe this is the medium one, it's 12 ounces, really lightweight and compact, which is awesome. Okay, so here's the Therm-A-Rest Neo Air XLITE, all blown up. This one is not self-inflatable, which I think is a con because it takes quite a bit of air and lung strength to blow this thing up all the way. As you can see, it's pretty thick, and so it takes a lot of air and a lot of breath, especially if you're in high elevations. You may not have a lot of air in your lungs, and that could really, it could take you a while. So just be prepared for that. It's not self-inflatable. The R value is 3.2, which means that right around 20 degrees or so is when you're going to start feeling this not work so well. You're going to feel the cold air come up through the ground and stuff like that. So right around 20 degrees is when this stops working really well. The price range around this, the small one is $129, medium is $159, large is $199. So quite the price difference than the other one I just showed. And now I will lay on it for you. So this one is pretty long. It fits me really well. There's only a few inches on top of my head, and then there's like 1 inch below my toes. It's really narrow, so unlike the other one, I mean, I can barely put my arms on here before they like slide off. So not much room to turn around. It's pretty narrow, but it's very warm. I mean, I can feel, I don't feel like I'm laying on the ground and it's cold. I can definitely feel, especially because I just blew it up, so there's warm air. It's quite cozy. The only thing I do not like about sleeping on this is that it is super loud. It's like you're sleeping on a chip bag. As you can tell, it makes noise. So I mean, yeah, every time you move, you hear it crinkling, which that bothers some people, doesn't bother others, so. But again, you see my arms is definitely not wide. Now, you're gonna be in a sleeping bag, so it's not gonna be a problem. Usually your arms are kind of tucked in, so your arms aren't gonna like flop off. Yeah. I like this a lot, honestly. It's for the price, it's a little pricey, honestly, but super comfy. It's super lightweight, super compact, as I showed you before. It's like a stuffed sack like this big. So that's awesome. I mean, you really can't get any better than this. The only thing with this now is that it is a thinner material than the other one I just showed you, and so it, if there's a stick or a sharp rock or something like that, it could definitely pop. Now it does come with a field repair kit, so you can repair it, but you got to find out where the hole is. Sometimes the hole is so small you can't see it, and then hopefully you got a lake nearby where you can put it underwater and see the bubbles. If not, I don't know. So that's the only thing. It's like if it breaks and you can't fix it right away, you don't have a mat, which sucks. So, but that's that. I really like this a lot. Again, it is crinkly, but that's pretty much the only, and you gotta blow it up, but that's pretty much the only two serious cons that I have with this. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay guys, my next pad is the ZLite Original. This is a really, really awesome closed cell foam mat. So what that means is that there's no, it's just foam. There's no air in between. This is what I carried on the Pacific Crest Trail section that I did, and I absolutely loved it. It was really, really great, and it's definitely what I saw the most of on the trail, carried by thru hikers as well. Let's see here. The R value of it is not quite as high as the two other ones I just showed you. It is 2.6, meaning that right around 30 degrees is when you're gonna start feeling it kind of not be as comfortable as it would otherwise. They have a regular one and a short one. I think the regular is this one, and it's 72 inches, and I believe the short one is 50 something, 55, I think, 56, which did not work for me because I am 65 inches tall, and so there was a good 10 inches of my leg that just hung off. So again, I can't deal with that when I'm sleeping in my tent. So it does make it lighter though. But yeah, this weighs 14 ounces, the regular one, and it's $45. So basically it has, okay, so there's this other side here, which is silver. So this is the reflective coating. Therm-A-Rest said it captures the radiant heat from your body and makes you 20% warmer than you would otherwise be, which is very interesting. So yeah, you want to sleep with this side up, basically. So you want to sleep on this side, put the yellow side down, and that's also how, so this is how I carried it basically on my backpack. I carried it, I would strap it, like this to my backpack and make sure the yellow side is up, so that if any water, like if it was raining or something, if any water collected inside the mat, the side I was sleeping on was not getting wet, because then I would put it in my tent and flip it over like this, and I would sleep on this dry side. So let me show you what it looks like when I lay on it. So this is the mat all stretched out. It's pretty long. It's definitely longer than the Neo Air that I just showed you, but let's see here. So yeah, it's much longer, and it's pretty much just as wide. Yeah, the only thing so it's definitely not as squishy, it's not as padded. As you can see, it's like the tiniest bit of foam, and when I first saw this, I'm like, oh my god, I'm sleeping on this? Like, this is kind of like an egg carton, like it's almost nothing. So, basically, I was worried. Let me tell you that. And a little bit for good reason. Honestly, I don't have a lot of body fat. And so when I slept on the ground, like if you're sleeping like this, it's one thing. But I tend to be like a stomach sleeper, side sleeper. And so like I would wake up like this and like from sleeping on my side, and my hips would just be so painful. And what was funny is I actually got bruises in the shape of these bumps from sleeping on it. So I got bruises on my hips in the shape of this little egg carton pattern from sleeping on this on the super hard ground. So, and that was only what, like 15 nights of sleeping on this. So, honestly, I mean, it kept me very warm. I never had any qualms about it keeping me warm, which is originally what I was worried about, is that how does this little thin mat, how is that going to keep me warm? So I was worried about that, but honestly, yeah, like I said, it had no issues. I had no issues of it keeping me warm. It's just really that there is not a lot of padding. And if you're a thinner person, even just, yeah, if you're a thinner person, if you have bones sticking out in places, maybe this is fine for like a 2, 3, 4-nighter backpacking trip or something. But if you're gonna go for something longer, it's just, you end up getting bruised. I mean, I bruise easily, but it does hurt. It's definitely not, yeah, I don't know. The price is awesome. I mean, it's $45. You can't really beat the price. Going from this to the Neo Air, you know, that's $100 difference. So, but if you have the money to spend, I think the Neo Air is your best bet, honestly, as far as weight and how comfortable it is. It also has a higher R rating, that kind of thing. So, but the cool thing about this now that the other mats can't do is that this is clipped to your backpack. And if you're like in an area where it's like a little wet or it's rocky and you want to sit down for lunch or something, you just plop this down, you sit, you have your lunch, you're good to go. Whereas the other ones, obviously, you would not want to put them on any sort of ground without a tarp or something like that, just because of them breaking so easily. But this, I mean, you don't have to worry about this. It's super durable. Mine got a little bit ripped here in like 1 or 2 spots, but other than that, it's like, it's so durable. They make a great seat, you know, like you can even, like if you're shorter, that's a little big for you, you just fold that up, pillow right there, done. Like it's a great product for sure. And honestly, if I end up not using this for sleeping anymore, I think I will cut it and make, you know, have a little seat to take with me for my day hikes, as well as when I go backpacking, just take a little seat with me. So I'll probably end up doing that. But again, I highly recommend the Neo Air. I think that is your best bet as far as backpacking. If you're just starting out and you're not sure if you're going to go on longer through hikes or longer extended backpacking trips, or you're not sure how often you're going to do it, just go ahead and get this. Or get like a cheaper one like the Trail Scout that I mentioned earlier. You know, yeah, it's going to be about a pound heavier, maybe half a pound heavier. But you know, it's at least something you can try out and then later use for car camping if you end up deciding that you're not into backpacking, you just want to go car camping or something like that. The Trail Scout is definitely going to be great for that, because you don't have to carry the weight. Anyway, that is my little overview of some of the Therm-A-Rest products that I have and that I've tested out. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask below in the comments. And I would love it if you would subscribe to Hike Oregon. We have a lot of fun stuff coming up since it's nearing spring and then summer and lots of backpacking and fun adventures to come. Anyway, thanks so much for watching and I'll catch you on the next adventure. Okay, bye.